Here's the second video for lesson 8, but it will be really short because there's only 2 more examples to go. So we are in page 466 and example number 4. Consider the following function. F of x is equal to 10x minus 3, and they just say x is a real number, which means x can be defined by any value. Any input is valid. Okay, so this is not really necessary for now, but it's not wrong to stick it there, but it's not necessary. Determine the value of x if f of x equal to 47. Okay, this is very different. It doesn't tell you what x is, but they tell you what y is. Remember what's y? F of x is y. They tell you what y is. Y is 47. And then, what is x? So how do you do that? Okay, you need to solve an equation. So here you replace f of x, your y, with 47. So come here, you copy this, but you replace that, okay, right? Like this is the definition, but then you replace that with 47 because we say f of x is 47. Okay, so make sure you distinguish between x and y. Don't mix it up. They're two different quantities. So 47 minus 10x equal to 10x minus 3. So you have an equation to solve here. So what do? So whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. First, get rid of the 3. So you add 3 to both sides. All right. And finally, you divide by 10. So what you try to do is you want to try to isolate the variable. Here's your variable. You want to isolate them by get rid of the 3, negative 3 by adding 3, and get rid of the 10 by dividing 10. You always do the opposite operation. And then the final answer is 50 divided by 10 is 5. And then you always write your answer, your variable to the left, and write your answer to the right. Okay, instead of write 5 equal to x, you write x equal to 5. So that's your answer. Now I can rewrite my function. I can say f of 5 is 47. Okay, so this is the function notation. You find that x is 5. There's also another representation. You can represent your answer as an order pair. Order pair, you have x and y. So what's the x value here? X value is 5. What's the y value here? Y value is your function is 47. So this is another way to represent the answer. All right, solve the equation. Okay, same thing. F of x is negative 23. That's your f of x equal to my definition. So same procedure, add 3. All right, divide by 10. You're isolating variable. So is negative 20 divided by 10 is negative 2. You write x is negative 2. So that's my answer. You can write f of negative 2 is negative 23. So that's one way to write the answer. You can write the coordinate pair as the answer. Okay, so just different way to represent the answer. All right. Last example. And then we are done. Consider the function f of x equal to x squared minus 5. Okay, so again, this is not necessary. In the future, when you see a function definition, they probably won't write this. Okay, but now they just put it there. Evaluate f of 4. Okay, f of 4 is replacing x by 4. The answer is 16 minus 5 is 11. Solve the equation f of x equal to 4. Okay, look at this. These two are very different. One say x is 4, one say y is 4. Don't mix it up. So y f of x is x squared minus 5. Okay, so now let's solve an equation. So whenever you have an equation, you just solve it, add 5 to both sides. Now be very careful here. When you take square root, okay, you always write plus or minus, because if a number square give you 9, what number can it be? It can be 3. It could also be negative 3. Negative 3 square give you 9. So x equal to plus or minus square root of 9. Maybe I put it here to remind ourselves. The operation next step is plus or minus square root. So the answer is plus or minus 3. Okay, so f of 3 is 4. F of negative 3 is 4. Is this a function, you may ask? Right? Every input, there's only one output. The output are the same here. But it is still a function because for input 3, the output is 4. input -3, the output is 4. For each input, there's only one output. No one said the output can't be the same. But for each input, they cannot have more than one output. So it is still a function. And if it's a function, you can use function notation. Finally, let's solve the following. It says solve the following, and then also it says t have to be positive. Leave the answer as radical form. So let's solve it. 75 equal to x squared minus 5, right? And then replace f of x with 75. So you add 5. So 80 is x squared. And normally you would do plus or minus square root. But this, and then you have a negative answer. But this one say, the question say, t is positive. So you can only use positive value. So we don't do the negative, just take a positive square root. Okay, x is square root of 80. Simplest radical form, live in a radical form. So let's reduce it. So 18, you can 16 times 5. You can take the 4 out. 4 root 5 is the answer. So right, I'm using variable x here, but the question used t, which is a variable. Variable doesn't matter. So to write the answer properly, well, at the end, I'll still write t is 4 root 5. All right. So f of 4 root 5 give you 75. If you leave the answer in radical form, that's the exact answer. Exact answer, radical form answer mean the same thing. You don't write the decimal number. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. In this lesson, we learn about function notation. Make sure you know what's x, what's y. Y is f of x. That's a function notation. All right, hope you enjoyed this lesson. Bye.